Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast episode of It Doesn't Have to Be Perfect. I actually just kicked out my roommate because I was trying to face the fear of like filming or not filming, but like talking on my podcast like in front of him, but I didn't want to do it. Like I froze. I literally was there and like 30 seconds went by and of me recording and there was nothing coming out of my mouth and I was like, can you like go? And like I know I'm the one that said do the hard things, but like I don't know, I'm like doing little things. Okay, I'm doing little things at a time. That's gonna be one of them. Just facing the fear of public speaking. Yeah, that's definitely something I'm working on. I feel like if I'm like out and about and I'm doing something, that's like not as scary as actually like sitting down and just talking to my phone for like 30 minutes in front of someone. Like I don't know. Okay. But anyways, today I wanted to talk about the big myth that effortlessness is like the way to go. Because effortlessness is a myth. I actually saw a video of this because it really resonated with me. And so I wanted to make this an entire topic of the podcast episode. And it was actually a speech that Taylor Swift gave. I know, me and my Taylor Swift. But she gave a speech at a graduation ceremony. And it's actually like pinned as like one of my highlights. I like still like watch it every now and then. There's just like inspirational stuff that I have in there. If you want to go check it out on my Instagram. But yeah, and I feel like living in a world where photo dumps that are supposed to look effortless, but required a lot of effort. Like we live in that world, it kind of has fueled this idea that you don't have to try too hard. And if you try too hard, it's kind of embarrassing. And I actually had this experience once, and like I always remember it because it just like is like the prime thing that I think about when I think about effortlessness being a myth. I had just been promoted as a supervisor at a coffee shop. This was like 2 years ago, or like a year ago, 2 years ago. And I remember that it was like my first day working with like the morning crew, and we had ran out of like cold brew or something. And so I kind of had a moment of like, oh my God, we're out of cold brew. And so I just kind of like sped walk to the back, because there was orders waiting. And I heard a girl say, oh my God, you don't have to like try so hard. And I just walked away because I was like, well, we still need to make this and whatever. I just kind of like, that was kind of like mean girl, whatever. And then I come back and like she apologizes. And she's like, oh my God, like, I'm sorry. That was kind of like mean. I didn't mean like that. And I was like, no, you're fine. But obviously like I remember it, and I still remember it. And like it did like sound like very like, not the nicest thing to say to someone, especially because I was new. I was like, okay, I don't know you like that to like be making jokes. Like I get it if like we had been working for a while already, but I didn't really know her like that. And I wasn't going to be working with her a lot because I was going to be an evening shift anyways. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Cool, whatever. But like, that's like one of my prime examples, like just like working so hard, especially like I feel like my generation, like we're kind of so cynical with it because I understand like minimum wage is BS, like actual BS, that it's not a livable wage. It's like a barely getting by wage. Okay. Like 80-70% of your income goes into your living expenses, and then 30% of it is just food, fuel, and maybe medical needs, clothing, etc. Right? And I know this from firsthand experience because I'm still technically a college student. I'm a master's student, but yeah, I'm a college student. And so even now, like I'm not living this glamorous life. I still make not the best amount of money. And that's because I'm choosing not to go into like a full-on career just yet, because I want to make this, what you're listening to, my full-time career. And I'm being very, very honest about those facts with my employers. They know that I'm just here to do my job and make my money and call it a day, So, and they respect that. I mean, I feel like they prefer Like, obviously they know that this is like a for now, especially because everyone there is like in college, you know? And so even with my internship too, like I've made it very clear that I have bigger plans, bigger goals, and they respect that and they support me, which is so great. But again, like living in an age where people trying too hard are like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. You're like so in the rat race right now. Dude, okay, what else am I supposed to do? I know we live under a capitalism society, whatever, and it sucks that we're also so aware now. Like nowadays, we're so aware of how everything works, how our government works, how the economy works, how just everything. We have so much like information at the tip of our fingers that it does cause for a little, you know, what is it? Cynicism, cynicalism. I don't know. You know what I'm saying though. There's a hair on my mic. That's annoying. But yeah. And like, even I remember Emma Chamberlain talking about this, like about the whole, like your Instagram feed being it's supposed to look effortless, right? But you took like 20 shots to get that one photo that looks like, I'm just like in the car and I just took this like on a whim and I still look so good. Like, no, you're trying to get all the angles. You're trying to get everything right in place. Make sure that the lighting's good. Make sure that you have enough, like, I don't know, like gradient in it. I don't know. But it's so like, it's fueled also by just like TV shows and movies. Like growing up, it was always like the popular girl with like the blonde hair and like was like thin and like blah, blah, blah. All this stuff that like, again, fuels the fire, that effortlessness. You're born with it, right? Maybe it's her natural beauty. Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know. But it does like make it hard for like someone who does try hard and who does want to like, I want to break a sweat. Like, I'm so sorry that, I want to work, but I do want to work. Okay. When Miss Kimberly Kardashian, when that viral clip went around of her saying, oh, people don't want to work these days. Like no one wants to get up and work. And I'm like, I agree, because it's exhausting to work. It's exhausting to work and get minimum wage like the way we are today. But I do want to work. And it can be very just like a very just exhausting relationship to have, because like obviously you're trying to move up, you're trying to make your own money, maybe you're trying to start your own business, maybe you're trying to start your own content creation, whatever it is. Like I want to work hard, I want to be exhausted by the end of the day, and I want to know that I gave it my all. So I do agree, yeah, people don't want to work nowadays, but because it's like they're stuck, unpopular opinion, but yes, I want to work hard. I want to find something, and I've found that thing, right? Where I just want to be able to give it my all. And I do want to be exhausted. Yeah. Okay. Like I want to be exhausted by the end of the day. I want to know that I gave my 110% and I get a good night's sleep. And that's also something I've noticed about myself. Like now that I've been working the second job, I love getting home and being so exhausted. Like, yes, okay, it sounds like a little like, what do you mean? Like, do you like pain? Are you like, is that your kink? Whatever. No, like, actually, I really like feeling I'm just drained. I have no energy to overthink. I have no energy to be anxious. I just sleep so well because I went about my day and I did work for my internship, and then I did work for my podcast, and then I did work for my social media, like TikToks, Reels, whatever. And then I went to my other job and I worked there too. And I'm happy with how it is right now. Obviously, I want to grow. Obviously, I want to have my own business soon, hopefully. And I want to like be able to just have my own things that I'm working for. But for now, this is like the way up for me. Like this is what I have to do in order to maintain myself and to fuel those side passion projects, like how am I going to be able to invest into a business if I don't have money for that business? You know what I mean? Like I have to get it from somewhere. So I'm like saving up, and like putting more money into equipment, putting more money into maybe like subscriptions for I don't know, like an editing service, right? Just like things like that. And I hate that, like, I see things too of like, oh my God, like I stopped, like I stopped chasing for it and now I just attract it. Like, okay, yes, to an extent, like you can't be like so like identifying with that thing that like it becomes like if you don't make it, like you literally just will crumble and like bleed insecurity, right? I'm not saying like identify so hard with it that like it literally debilitates you into not being able to like live your life if there's a failure or a bump on a road. But like what I'm really like trying to get at is that it's okay to try hard, because you should try hard. Okay? Things don't just come to you. You have to go towards them. Okay? Get up and walk towards it and work for it. You know, I really like just had a wave and I think I needed that wave, and I've talked about this before, a wave of like kind of letting everything go, and I stopped for a while and I meditated and I did my thing, but now I'm ready to go back to work. I'm ready to get my ass up and work. Okay, Ms. Kimberly. People might love or hate that, but like, yeah, that's my honest opinion about that. Like I do think that people don't want to work, and that's okay, but like there's other people that do want to work, and I'm one of those people. Okay, and I don't know, sometimes I feel like I have controversial opinions, but then I see people, you know, commenting and they're like, dude, I really like this perspective, and I'm like, thank you, thank God, because like I feel like if I say this out loud, I'm going to get canceled, or, you know, like something like that. Like, oh my God, you're so blinded by like, you know, capitalism, whatever. Dude, I don't care. I don't care. This is actually how I feel. And I feel like I've lived a short life, right? But I've experienced a lot of different jobs and a lot of different times in my life of staying still and moving forward. And I'm choosing to move forward right now. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope that sticks with you, because I know that definitely stuck with me. And I'll say it one more time. Effortlessness is a myth. Okay? All right. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this episode, make sure to rate this podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, you know what to do. Subscribe and follow along for more. I post every Monday, and I post every Sunday for my vlogs on YouTube. So stay tuned. All right. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.